On this video, I, the TV Crazy Man, look at Goofs from the Three Stooges Shemp era, including issues with visible stuntmen, bloopers, props, and some injuries the Stooges got for real. It's always fun for me to spot scenes with a stuntman, and the Stooges used stuntmen on occasion despite the fact that they were still getting hurt a lot doing their own stunts. In the short Blunder Boys, it's really apparent when Shemp is riding a mechanical horse and gets thrown into the ceiling. As he falls back down, his stuntman's wig falls off. Either that or Shemp had a sudden attack of baldness and didn't want the public to know. In the 1947 short Hold That Lion, Larry's stunt double can be seen as the Three Stooges run from a lion. This one isn't so obvious though, and you would never have known had he not looked at the camera for a second.
Get out! Get out! Whoa! Oh.
In The Tooth Will Out, you can see Larry's stunt double has what looks like a Larry-style bald cap wig on. It's hard to believe that professionals such as were involved in the Stooges production could have had the occasional blooper, but they weren't real big on retakes back then, and things moved so fast on a typical Stooges short, who would ever notice? Like on the short Fright Night, it isn't usually typical for a bad guy to give the cue for the best time to knock him out. But if you listen real close, you can hear Cy Shandell as the henchman yell, "Now, Shemp," when it's time for him to get the bonk on the head. Is he or that, or he's saying, "Oh, well, never mind." I sure hope that was a rubber axe. In the short All Gummed Up in 1947, when Emil Sicca, as a mean old landlord, is yelling at the Stooges, he goes up the line, "You haven't heard the last of me yet." He says instead, "You haven't heard of me." Then continues with, "The last of me yet."
You haven't heard of me and last of me yet! You haven't heard of me and last of me yet!
Ow! Put that pencil down, man!
In that same short, it looks like Moe is mouthing Larry's line as Larry is speaking it.
Ow! Put that pencil down, man!
In the short Who Done It in 1949.
Oh, don't you raise your hand to me.
Did Shemp give his line too soon? He says, "Don't raise your hand to me," to Moe, but Moe hadn't raised his hand yet to smack him. And Larry gives Moe a look that says, "Boy, this scene is blown." Or did they just mean to do it that way? With the Three Stooges, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
Oh, don't you raise your hand to me.
Why, you...
That'll teach him to mess up a line. Notice in the short A Snitch in Time from 1950, the bad guy gets knocked out. Notice the chair that he was knocked out right next to. He's not there anymore. He's not in the scene, then there he is, passed out still, smiling, almost like he's trying to keep from laughing. People don't usually move when they're knocked out. Editing goofs are up next. You know, when editing doesn't go quite right, things don't seem to go in the right order. They seem out of place. Like Shemp's hat in Hocus Pocus. 1 second it's there, the next second it's not.
You are now in Los Angeles.
In the short Love at First Bite in 1950, Larry reminisces about how he was eating bread and hot dogs when he first met his girl. But was he?
I was stationed in Italy, eating bread and hot dogs and waiting to be mustered out. Well, one day...
I don't know about y'all, but that doesn't look like hot dogs to me. In Squareheads of the Round Table from 1948, the two main guards early in the film are clean-shaven, 1 second. Then as they chase the Stooges inside the castle, they suddenly have mustaches and beards and wearing totally different clothes. In the short The Ghost Talks from 1949, when Shemp hits the wall and he loosens the shield from above him, causing it to fall, it's a different shield that actually hits his head. The Three Stooges had some goofy effects and props sometimes, but they would flash by so fast you would hardly notice them, and if you did, it would just make you laugh harder. Check out this dummy from Goof on the Roof from 1953.
You imbecile, leave that alone and come down here!
How do you like that guy, huh?
They sped up the film so it would look more convincing. If they hadn't of it, it would really look bad. I always wondered about this one from Hold That Line from 1947. I used to think it was a film behind the Stooges of the lion, but then there's a glare behind them, and according to what I read, it's a glass wall between the Stooges and the lion.
Draft behind us.
In Brideless Groom from 1947, you can see a flat scooter assist Shemp Howard in being pulled across the floor to simulate being dragged.
Oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Dummy.
Oh.
He's all tangled up with wires.
All right, well, back him up and let's break him out of it.
Oh, my piano.
Shut up.
Hey, sit him down. We've got a new grip.
In Fiddler's Street from 1948, the Stooges try to shoe a mule, and they get kicked over a balcony.
What?
But it actually kind of looks like they just sort of ran and threw themselves over the balcony. I wonder if it was the Three Stooges that created the concept of the crash test dummy. Check out this from Malice in the Palace. There is something weird trying to shoo the cat away. I read that this is a finger trying to get the cat to get out of the scene, but I can't see like where the arm and the hand is and everything. This is just weird. Well, if your cat has ever screamed for no apparent reason, this could have something to do with it. I'm just saying. Well, thanks in part, of course, to High Def Video, we can see how they did one effect from Dunked in the Deep from 1949. See the string that apparently has something to do with Shemp's amazing bow tie? From that same short, mud gets splashed all over Shemp, but the weird thing is how a couple of spots seem to stay stuck in midair. Could be a sky background, but I'm going to go with unexplained phenomenon. Here's one from Love at First Bite that involves more dummies, because dummies are, well, they're funny. Well, Mo and Larry are drunk, and they think that they've killed Shemp. So what do? They decide to put his feet into cement, and then throw him into the lake. But they pass out and go to sleep, and they wake up and they realize that Shemp is in cement. And now they're late for picking up their women. So what do? Well, naturally the logical thing to do is to pull out the dynamite.
No.
Of course, this means it's time for the crash test dummies. Which makes it all the more hilarious. In a snitching time, Shemp throws glue in Mo's eye. Or does he?
Must be the hump.
Let's slow that down a bit, shall we?
Must be the hump.
Did you catch that? It's obviously a speedster playing a prank on Mo. You can just barely see the hand, it's so fast. In the short Brideless Groom. Well, let's talk about Larry's infamous pen incident that occurred on the short Heavenly Days. The Stooges were trying to prove their fountain pen could write on whipped cream in the story, and the trick was going to be the pen would fly off and hit Larry in the head thanks to being guided by a string. The pen was supposed to be stopped by a plate on Larry's head, but apparently it did not work as planned and he got a gash on his head. The story goes that Mo became angry and started chasing the director around the room over it. But some said that part of it was just a rumor. In the short Whodunit, Mo sprained his ankle, and rather than postpone filming, he just kept on going, the trooper that he was. There's one thing I learned: when you sprain your ankle, you should just quit. I did that one time playing a game of basketball and kept going, and it swelled up like a balloon. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell for future video notifications, comment, let me know what you think about the video. Really appreciate that. And look around on the TV Crazy Man channel and see if there's some other stuff you like. We got a lot of stuff on classic TV, especially classic superhero TV. But just if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you probably find a lot of stuff you like, and a lot of stuff older than that. Well, y'all have a great day, and y'all come back now, here.